Hey guys, it's Angelo Esquivel here, and today I'm going to make a multi-part series on doing something that isn't very commonly done. It is going to be an outdoor fish tank. Now you might be wondering, well, what the heck is the point of an outdoor fish tank? Well, it's interesting. It gets you outside and enjoy the day. But in this particular case, I am actually going to be trying to sell some of my excess fish, since my fish have been having babies like crazy. So I got a little outdoor fish tank, and as you can see, I live right on the main road here, so advertising won't be so hard. Now, there's a lot of things you gotta take into account when making an outdoor fish tank, and we're gonna go over the first part of it, which is temperature. Oh my gosh, it is cold outside, but that doesn't mean the water itself has to be cold too. Now, I'm selling tropical fish, which means I need tropical temperatures. Anywhere from about 72 to 80 degrees is acceptable. Now, right now we have my little mascot, Toby the goby. He's a round goby. He is not a tropical fish. He's actually an invasive species from my local waters. I have him in here because he's a super resilient, hardy fish that can handle just about anything. And he's going to be in here just helping me out getting everything calibrated. So as you can see, I've got a very big fish tank heater. I've opted for a 250 watt Aqueon Pro inside of a 10-gallon tank. Now, the reason I'm going for a 250 watt and not something like the recommended 50 watt or so is because in order to combat the temperatures that will regularly here in Illinois go down to about 40 degrees Fahrenheit, you have to be outputting a lot of power to compensate against that. So, the water temperature was hovering around 40 degrees about an hour or two ago. Right now, it's about 61.1 degrees Fahrenheit and still rising. As we can see, the red light indicates that we are still heating up the tank. The light will turn green once we have reached the predetermined temperature of about 80 degrees, which is what I have it currently set to. And the digital thermometer is great for monitoring and tracking the progress of all this. Once the temperature becomes more tropical, little Toby here is going to be taken out, be put back into his main tank. Now, one thing about having a tank that runs hotter is generally you need to add more oxygen. If you look over here, you won't be able to see it because it's also black, it's like the sand, but it's an air stone. We're going to be going over that in part 2 when we talk about aeration, which is extremely important for any fish tank. But for a fish tank in which we have to have a lot of heat, aeration is just a little more important. And then the last part we'll go over is proper filtration. How to set up a filter that will withstand the elements of the outside. Because let's face it, a lot of fish tank stuff is designed to be wet in certain areas, but not in places like the cord. So we have to deal with issues with the elements like rain, constantly fluctuating temperatures on the outside, and maintaining good water chemistry. So this is just the introduction, and once the temperature reaches its proper spec, then we can start going over some more interesting things about how to take care of an outdoor fish tank, like, for instance, algae control. Algae is a huge problem with outdoor fish tanks and ponds because the recipe for algae is pretty simple. Temperature, water, sunlight. Now, most people turn their fish tanks on for only a few hours a day, but out here, we don't have the light. We have the sun itself, so we can't turn that off. If algae becomes a problem, there's other ways to combat it, such as covering the entire tank in a blanket for a day or two, or having specialized fish or snails that will consume algae at a very high rate. But that's for later in this little multi-part series. This little 10-gallon tank is going to be a fun little project that in the end will be actually completely safe for the fish. Even though it's tropical fish, in what is currently 45-degree Fahrenheit weather outside. So it is quite cold. But just giving you a little blurb on what to expect in upcoming videos. So thanks for taking a look, everyone.